All right, yesterday we got an article from Jonathan Givony of ESPN, aka Draft Express, explaining some changes that are coming to the NBA draft in 2024. First of all, in order to be drafted, all players will have to participate in the NBA draft combine. The participation will be mandatory in everything except for the 5-on-5. So medical testing, speed and agility, interview with teams, player development, all of that is now mandatory. That's a big win for the league against the agents. Agents used to have top prospects skip the draft combine. This way they could determine who got their medical records, who they worked out for, and hopefully have some say in steering their prospect to preferred destinations. With this new rule, that will no longer be in effect. The second big takeaway is before, if you were a part of Overtime Elite or the G League Ignite program, once you were 1 year removed from high school, you were automatically entered into the NBA draft. So that means if I was a part of the G League and I had a bad year, I was still forced to go into the draft. And I had a bad year. Maybe I go undrafted. Now, if I have a bad year, I have the option to return to Overtime Elite, go overseas, the G League Ignite, and I can try and raise my stock back up or raise my stock in general without being forced to enter the draft. So this is a big win for those guys and this is probably how it should have always been, because if I went to Duke and I didn't like my spot in the draft, I would just go back to Duke for a second year. So the fact that the kids in Overtime Elite and G League Ignite didn't have that option sort of sucked. So this is a nice win for those prospects and the G League Ignite as a whole. This should help them.